black woman, all right, was blocked from a condo sale after meeting, the person selling. Put it a full mass, hell of a story, a lot of twists and turns. 30-year-old Dr. Raven Baxter. Dr. Baxter, a black molecular biologist and science communicator, recounted her shock and disbelief to the New York Times after learning why 84-year-old Jane Walker, a white property owner, refused to sell her a Virginia condo. Dr. Baxter, who lives in Alexandria, Virginia, alleges Walker refused to sell her Virginia Beach condo for a nearly $750,000 offer due to Baxter's race. Baxter was seeking a home near the beach, found the condo to be a perfect fit. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. So this is per Atlanta Black Star. They did great reporting on this. An agent on Zillow offered to visit the property. An agent, okay? Working on behalf, obviously, of Dr. Baxter. Visited the property, set up a virtual tour for her through FaceTime. As one of the seller's agents walked her through the condo, Baxter kept her off camera, okay? These are very normative in house shopping. But she was all in to purchase after the tour. Quote, "It's a classic home with a ton of characters, absolutely gorgeous, and you can walk the beach. It was like a steal," Baxter said. "I basically put in an offer sight unseen," end quote. She offered the asking price of $749,000. No negotiating. That's what you're asking for. That's what you're going to get right now, which was accepted. Okay, now you got a contractual dynamic. Okay, bargain for agreement, and send over the down payment. Now you have surety of the actual agreement contractually applied. Once Baxter's broker was notified about why Walker wanted put down the down payment, then accompanied by her boyfriend, Dr. Baxter, drove from Alexandria to the beach to see the home in person. Walker, who is white, also visited the home that day and was introduced to Dr. Baxter and her boyfriend as they were leaving the property. As soon as they drove away, Walker told her agent she did not want to sell the home to a black buyer and communicated her desire to pull out of the sale, Baxter said. Once Baxter's broker was notified about why Walker wanted to cancel the purchase, he called Dr. Baxter to break the news. Quote, "You could hear the fear and disbelief in his voice," Dr. Baxter told the New York Times. Quote, he said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but she doesn't want to sell the home to you because you're black," end quote. Dr. Baxter also publicized what happened on X. Quote, "My real estate agent's broker just called me 9 p.m. on a Friday to tell me that the seller does not want to sell a house to me because I am black." This is after the inspection, contract agreement, down payment. Baby, I'm either buying your house or buying your block. Choose one. End quote. Regardless of Walker's request, Baxter's broker and the Zillow agent told Dr. Baxter, they would move ahead with securing the sale. Quote, "Had I gone to Twitter and received help from people who knew what they were doing, I would have been panicking the entire weekend," Dr. Baxter told the Times. "It was my first time buying a house. I knew my civil rights were being violated. I knew that something illegal was happening, but no one knew what to do." All right, so here's the bottom line. Contract was secured. All right, that's why you have contractual agreements called four corners of the contract. It's inside of your actual agreement. Once the down payment was given, you're locked virtually, all right? So multiple users encouraged her to file a complaint with her state and federal housing officials. So she submitted a discrimination claim to the Virginia Fair Housing Office of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, hired a civil rights attorney also. housing discrimination is illegal thanks to the Fair Housing Act of 1968 and the Civil Rights Act of 1866, which, by the way, the courts are trying to gut right now. Even so, Black home buyers still face disproportionate rates of housing discrimination. So Barbara Walcott, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, RW Town Realty, the realty agency that Walker uses, okay, personally assured Dr. Baxter that Walker's actions do not reflect the agency's value and that the sale is still on. You're damn right. We're going to get our commission. We're not going to let this racism stop commission either way here.
Right.
All right. Walcott emphasized that such attitudes are not tolerated by the agency. Dr. Baxter's home sale is set to close this summer. Got him. I'm so glad. There was, a few things could have ruined this, obviously, if there would have been a counter offer. Let's say she said, okay, I will give $740,000 rather than $749,000, which was the asking price. That then creates a new contract, which has to be considered by the buyer, and it would have made this whole racism thing, well, completely okay, as long as she didn't say it was because of racism. All right, Jackson, thoughts here.
Yeah, I guess Walker was just thinking about the property value. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want a wave of Black people to just come in there and think that they could change the demographics of the landscape. But yeah, no, the CEO of the company, she was like, "Oh, hold on now. The money is transferred. The money's
That's
there."
right, damn it.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know. Stop it now. You know what I mean? But this is just dumb because for her to just say it so casually, like, well, this is normally why people get turned down in modern times these days. You just say these things out loud. But in fact, we've moved a little further than that. It's not perfect, but typically you don't say those things out loud. At least we're there now. But at the same time, we're kind of reversing backwards. So I got to be careful with that.
Yeah, no, it's a mixed bag at this point, isn't it?
Exactly.
All right.